Now that the COVID vaccine is here and restrictions are starting to be lifted, it seems like travel may be possible again. Joining us today to talk about venturing out into the world is Aldo Vazquez from the AAA. Hi, Aldo.
Hey, how's it going?
So great to see you and so excited to talk about travel. Have you been finding that people are starting to travel again, or at least plan for future travel?
Yeah, so here at AAA, we are starting to see some growing optimism, especially around the vaccine rollout. And especially as more Americans are getting vaccinated, we are seeing an increase in people traveling. March 2021, so just last month, was the highest that we've seen since February 2019 for online travel bookings.
So although last year when we spoke, the road trip was very popular, what types of travel are people looking at this year?
We're 1 year into the pandemic now, and we're starting to see travel get back to pre-COVID levels. So we're starting to see people hitting the skies a little bit more. And we're seeing a huge influx in people booking flights, which has increased the demand for car rentals. And believe it or not, people are actually also booking cruises when those start picking up again. We anticipate travel will only increase in the coming months, especially as we get closer to Memorial Day weekend.
So Aldo, what trends are you seeing with travel bookings?
So we are seeing travelers get a little bit more confidence in booking their travel plans and making those travel plans. During the pandemic, we noticed that people were making their travel plans maybe 3 days to a week before hitting the road. And that went to the growing hesitancy of people not knowing whether there would be new restrictions going up or there would be new quarantine requirements going up. So now what we're seeing is people are planning their trips 14 to 30 days out, which goes to show us that people have that confidence that they will be able to go on that trip regardless of what's going on with the pandemic and getting back out there and enjoying their vacations.
So what types of destinations are people booking?
Outside of the United States, Mexico continues to be the top destination. And when it comes to popularity, it really comes down to the kind of experience that people are looking to have. Now that we're getting back to, a sense of normalcy, those bigger populous cities are starting to become a big hit. Las Vegas continues to be the number one destination, and it has been throughout most of the pandemic. Then we see cities like San Diego, Los Angeles, Phoenix, and Reno rounding out the top 5.
I love that. A sense of normalcy is music to my ears, Aldo. Thank you for saying that. Are there any restrictions that we should be aware of before we start traveling?
It's very important for people to continue to focus on making sure that they understand the state and local guidance that may be going on. So following state and local health departments for any kind of restrictions and protocols, and knowing exactly what's in place for where you are, where you're going, and anywhere along your route. The CDC continues to recommend people get COVID tests before and after their trip.
Well, it sure is exciting to think about getting back out there and traveling again. Any last words of wisdom or advice before we hit the road?
Yeah, right now, working with a travel agent is probably the best thing you can possibly do. They are your biggest advocate and the best resource for travel information because they're so plugged into the industry and they know what's happening as things are turning and changing on a dime. And working with a AAA travel agent is probably the smartest thing you can do right now when planning your trip during a pandemic.
Great information. Thank you so much, Aldo.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. All right. If you want more travel tips, just head to the AAA website.